you. Thank you again for joining me. My name is Nora, and it's my honor to guide your practice today. The theme for today's class is about making friends with yourself. And in today's class, we will incorporate mostly forward bends and also heart opening poses. Forward bends symbolize acceptance and towards ourselves, and heart opening poses is mostly to increase our capacity for love, for compassion, and also for forgiveness. Last week we talked about how our yoga practice kind of give us a safe place where we can get to know our fears, our vulnerabilities, and also our strengths. And also, sometimes we have this perceived or real limitations. But even when we're setting our intention, we can, kind of glimpse into our hopes and our dreams and our desires. Typically, we are afraid of what we don't know. But if we get to know and build a trusting relationship with ourselves, we will never have to be afraid of who we are. So a few keys to a successful relationship, including one with ourselves, are active listening. They are also embracing imperfection, forgiveness, and of course, practice or consistency. So every time that we practice yoga, we're putting the rest of our life in hold, and we're taking that pause to make a connection within. So when we start listening to our body, we're also opening ourselves up for any cues or any signals that help us to get in touch with our inner wisdom, our inner guide. So let's start putting this into practice with the help of the Khalasar Mudra. Mudras are hand gestures. And so what we need to do is just place our thumb and our middle finger together. And then we bend the rest of our fingers down, making the shape of a heart. And what I would like you to do is to please put your mudra in a place where you need to send some love and where you're looking forward to bring some change in your life. So this mudra helps us to calm the mind. It helps us to surrender any prejudices, any addictive behaviors or patterns. And something that I think is very interesting is that in the yoga tradition, time and space are illusions. So the past cannot be changed and the future hasn't happened yet. So the only thing that we have is the present moment. The present moment is when the future becomes the past. And so this mudra helps us ground in the present moment. So now, I invite you to leave your mudra in that particular area of your body where you want to bring some change and send love. And if it feels comfortable for you, I invite you to close your eyes to start feeling how the earth is supporting you. And start bringing the awareness inward. And take a big inhale and sigh it out, exhale. And allow your breath to bring you home to the truth of who you really are, to your higher self, to your purpose. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. And with each exhalation, let the power of your mudra help you free yourself from any tension, any fear, any worries, anything else that doesn't serve you during this hour. And when you continue to focus on your breath, I invite you to reflect that as long as we live, we will have to continue to work in our character trails. But this should not be a battle. Miracles happen when we shift our perspective, when we embrace our fears, our negative thoughts and behaviors as our guides that are pushing us forward toward progress instead of seeing them as enemies. Because it's only by embracing our whole self, which means the parts that we love and the ones that we don't like so much, that we can experience the gift of self-healing. So now, let's go into our first pose of the practice, which will be child's pose. Go into your mat and open your legs as wide as the mat. Bring your big toes together. Start walking your hands forward. And place your forehead on the ground. You probably heard me say this before, but remember to listen to your body. Let your body be your guide. If my cues do not work for you, that's okay. Just listen to the wisdom of your body and come back to this position or any other resting position as many times as you need to center yourself. Let's begin to cultivate Ujjayi breath by sending our breath towards the back of our throat, creating a gentle sound, like the sound of ocean waves. Now, press into the hands and come into a kneeling position. You can place your blanket under your knees for more support, or you could also fold your mat to give you a little bit of padding under the knees. The second mudra that we will incorporate today is called Lotus or Padma Mudra. So what we do is we bring our pinkies and our thumbs together. We leave the bottom of our hands pressed together, and we open our fingers outward, mostly just to making this kind of like a cornucopia. And this mudra represents possibility, and it's also movement from darkness into light. It can help us transform our suffering into strength and assist us into finding unconditional love and to be more compassionate and loving human beings. So what we're going to do now is we're going to combine a breathing technique called Breath of Joy with our Lotus Mudra. So I'm going to show you how it looks, and then I invite you to follow along. When you're going to take a big inhale, you come into a kneeling position, lift your arms up to the ceiling, and then when you inhale, you start bowing forward and give yourself a big hug for Garuda Mudra or Freedom Mudra, and then you come into kind of like a child's position. You bow forward as close as you can. So let's give it another round. So you come into a kneeling position with your Lotus Mudra. Take a big inhale. Then lift your arms overhead for Breath of Joy. Exhale. Bow down. Give yourself a big hug. Come into kind of like a child's pose position. One more time. Come into a kneeling position. Bring your mudra into your heart. Inhale your arms overhead. Exhale for compassionate mudra. Give yourself a big hug. One more time. Come into a kneeling position. Bring your mudra into your heart. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale for compassionate mudra. Okay, that was perfect. That felt really good to give ourselves a big hug. So from a kneeling position, we will move into gate pose. So extend your right leg out. I'm going to extend my legs since I'm facing opposite of you. Inhale your arms overhead, and on the exhale, side bend towards the right. Slide your right hand on your right leg. If you want a deeper stretch, just look over your left shoulder. On the inhale, you come back to center. And on the exhale, you side bend towards the left. And you can place your hand on a block or all the way down into the mat. It all depends how much of a stretch you want. And again, you have the option to look underneath your right shoulder to deepen the stretch. So we're going to move with our breath now. A couple times, come back to center. Exhale and side bends towards the right. Inhale and come back to center. Exhale and side bend towards the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale and side bend towards the right. We'll do one more. Inhale and come back to center. Exhale and side bend towards the left. Excellent. So let's come back into a kneeling position and we'll do the same stretch on the opposite side. So extend your left leg out. Inhale your arms overhead. And on the exhale, side bend towards the left and slide your left arm on your left thigh or leg. And again, you have the option to look under your right shoulder. Deepen the stretch. Come back to center. And now on the exhale, side bend towards the right. Open your heart out. Inhale and come back to center. And now we're going to flow with our breath. Exhale and side bend towards the left. Inhale and come back to center. Exhale and side bend towards the right. One more time. Inhale and come back to center. Exhale and side bend towards the left. Excellent. So now we will be moving into our next pose, which is cat and cow or Khalasana. So come into a tabletop position. Make sure that your hands are right underneath your shoulders. So on the inhale, we lift our gaze to the ceiling and round our belly towards the mat. Exhale for cat, round your back, look at your navel. Let's lower our breath. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Now let's do 2 more rounds on our own, inviting any movement that your body may be craving. And when you're finished, just come back into a tabletop position. From here, we're moving into downward facing dog. So walk your hands a few inches forward. Tuck your toes under, press into the hands. Engage your core. Take a big inhale. And on the exhale, send your hips towards the sky. Remember, this is the first downward dog of the practice, so feel free to pedal your feet. You can wag your tail. Just keep in mind, your heels do not need to touch the ground. Relax the head and neck. And begin to focus your attention in one focal point or drishti. It could either be on the back of your mat or on the back wall. One of the advantages of drishti is that it helps us to calm down the mind, to engage more deeply into our practice. And eventually we will be able to take this quality of mind off our mat and into our everyday life. So on your next inhale, start walking your hands towards your hands. Your ragdoll or uttanasana. Your feet are hip width apart. You can have a soft bend on the knees. You can sway from side to side or grab opposite biceps. You can shake your head yes or no. And eventually find the stillness zone for this pose. Just let the head hang heavy. And let every single one of your worries or fears roll down your back and melt into the mat. From ragdoll, we're going to move into samastiti. So release your hands and very slowly start rolling one vertebra by vertebra. For samastiti or standing at attention, Bring your feet together, engage your abs, open your chest, and bring your hands to heart center. You can bring your hands into your Lotus Mudra. You can gaze towards your hands, or feel free to close your eyes. And I invite you to set up an intention for your practice or Sankopa. You could either focus on a mantra or on a feeling, or whatever arises. I want you to listen to it, to pay attention to it, because this might be exactly what you need to help you be present during this process. And today I will invite you to practice with an open heart, remembering that forgiveness is a gift that we give ourselves. But we cannot receive this gift if our fists are clenched, holding on to past hurts or resentment. And once we open ourselves up to the gift of forgiveness, we also open ourselves to guidance and to the unlimited love and abundance of the universe. So let's take a round of collective breath to seal our intention. Inhale your arms overhead, and now bring your hands together and bring your intention from your mind into your heart as you sigh out, exhale. So we're moving into sun salutation 8. Inhale your arms overhead for mountain pose or Tadasana. Again, make sure that you're engaging your abs. Relax the shoulders away from the ears and root into the ground with your toes. And with each exhalation, start embodying this pose and feel grounded, confident, balanced. Now bring your hands behind your back and interlace your fingers. Take a big inhale and lift your chest up. And on the exhale, bow forward. It's available to you. Lift your hands or arms towards the sky. Stay for an extra breath. And on the exhale, release your hands and move into forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Plant your hands on the mat and step back for the top of a push-up position for Dandasana or high plank. Remember, you can always bring your knees to your mat. And on the exhale, lower down all the way into your mat as we prepare for Cobra pose, which is another heart opening. Make sure that your hands are right underneath your shoulders. Fingers are spread. Take a big inhale and lift your chin and chest off the mat. Exhale and very gently lower all the way down. We'll do 2 more. Inhale for baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale and lift your chin and chest off the mat. Exhale, lower down. Take a big inhale, now press into a tabletop position. Tuck your toes under, and on the exhale, press into downward facing dog. Take a big inhale through the nose. Sigh out, exhale. And release any tension that might still be lingering in your body. We're going to move into the same sequence, just one breath per movement. Remember to listen to your body and follow at your own pace. So take a big inhale and look up. And on the exhale, either walk or jump your feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to mountain pose. Now bring your hands to your back. Inhale and lift your chest up. Exhale and bow forward. Release your hands down to the mat for forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands on the mat and step back. Exhale and lower all the way down to your mat. Inhale for Cobra pose. Exhale for downward facing dog. Take a big inhale and look up. And on the exhale, down to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for mountain pose. On the exhale, bring your hands towards your back and interlace the fingers. Take a big inhale and lift your chest up. Exhale, bow forward, lift your arms towards the sky. Release your hands and exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands on the mat and step back. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale for Cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll do one more. Inhale and look up. Exhale and travel to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale and bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Inhale and lift your chest up. Exhale and bow forward. Release your hands now for forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands on the mat and step back. Lower all the way down. Inhale, half for Cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big inhale through the nose. Side out, exhale. This would be the perfect time to get a drink of water or towel off as we move into our zombie. A pair of blocks might be helpful, so just move your blocks towards the front of the mat. So when you're ready, press into downward facing dog. Inhale and lift your right leg up. Exhale and place your right foot forward in between your hands and rise into warrior one, Virabhadasana one. Make sure that your knee is either on top or behind your ankle. Lift your arms overhead, palms facing each other. Your back foot is tilted to a 45-degree angle. You don't need to square your hips as long as you're squaring to the front, your front body. So we're going to move without flow. And on the exhale, we're going to move into airplane arms by bowing forward. Bring your hands behind you, palms facing down. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, airplane arms. One more time. Inhale, warrior one. And on the exhale, pivot your feet towards the left. We're moving into Prasarita Padma or wide-legged forward fold. So bring your hands on your hips. Inhale and lift your chest up. And on the exhale, bow forward. And either bring your hands to the center of the mat, towards your calves or your feet. Just make sure that your head hangs heavy. This is one of my favorite poses. It helps soothe the nervous system, but since it's, we're upside down, it also helps us to change our perspective. When we change our perspective from love to fear, we realize that there's boundless possibilities. When we start changing our perspective, miracles happen. We transform fear into love, and we're able to see boundless possibilities around us. On the next inhale, bring your hands to the center of the mat. Your back is flat. So now bring your hands towards your hips and very slowly start coming to a standing. We're moving into pyramid pose or Parsvottanasana. On your next inhale, pivot your feet towards the front of your mat. You're more than welcome to bring your left foot closer. As you bring your hands into the hips, take a big inhale, lift your chest up. And on the exhale, bow forward. And feel free to either use blocks or bring your hands to the mat. You can have a soft bend on your right knee. And with each exhalation, if it's available to you, just fall a little bit deeper. But again, listen to your body and only do what's comfortable for you. To exit the pose, bring your hands back to your hips. And inhale, come up out of the pose. Now, bring your left foot to meet your right. Inhale for mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway left. Plant your hands on the mat and step back for push-up position. Exhale and go all the way down. Inhale for Cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, your left leg high. And on the exhale, plant your right foot in between your hands and rise into warrior one, the Avadasana one. Again, make sure that you can still see your toes. Your back foot is pivot to 45-degree angle. And your arms are overhead, palms are facing each other like in mountain pose. And let's flow with our breath. On the exhale, move into airplane arms. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, airplane arms. One more time. Inhale, warrior one. And on the exhale, we pivot our feet towards the right so we can move into Brasarita. This time, interlace your fingers behind your back. Take a big inhale and lift your chest up. Exhale and bow forward from your hips. And if it's available to you, lift your arms towards the sky. And let your head hang heavy. Release your hands back to the mat. And now press into your right hand. Take a big inhale and lift your left arm towards the sky for a gentle twist. Exhale and bring your left hand down. And on the inhale, lift your right arm to the sky. Exhale and release your right hand down on the mat. Bring both hands right underneath your face. Make sure your back is flat. Place your hands on your hips and very slowly come into standing as we move into pyramid pose on the left. So again, you have the option to bring your right foot closer to shorten your stance. Your hands are on your hips. Inhale and look up. Exhale and bow forward over your left leg. Feel free to use blocks or just place your hands all the way down on the mat. With each exhalation, if it's available to do, just fall deeper into the pose. Another option is that every time you inhale, you come out a little out of the pose, and then on the exhale, you bow down a little bit deeper. Again, listen to your body and only do what's available for you. to come out of the pose. Just bring your hands back to your hips and very slowly come to standing. On your next inhale, bring your right foot to meet your left. And inhale to mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half the lift. Plant your hands on the mat and step back. Lower all the way down to your mat. Inhale for Cobra pose. Exhale for downward facing dog. Take a big inhale through the nose. Side off, exhale. And now come into a tabletop position as we move into the unwind portion of this class. Our first pose for the unwind portion will be thread the needle. So press into the left hand, and on the inhale, with your right hand up to the ceiling. On the exhale, bring your hand in between your left hand and your knees. And now rest your right cheek and your forehead on the mat. And take a pause to notice how this feels. If this is enough, stay here. If you want a little bit deeper stretch, then extend your left arm forward. Another option would be to also place your left arm to your lower back for a gentle bind. Bring your left hand right underneath your shoulder, press into the left hand. Take a big inhale, and on the exhale to come out of the pose, just lift your right hand to the sky. Exhale and bring your right hand back into the mat. We're going to repeat the same stretch on the opposite side. So root into your right hand. Inhale and lift your left arm towards the ceiling. Exhale and thread your left arm in between your right hand and your knees. And rest your left cheek in the mat. Again, you have the option to extend your right arm forward or to bring your right arm to your low back for a bind. Just remember to listen to your body and notice what this side needs, which might be completely different from what your other side. When you're ready, bring your right hand underneath your shoulder, press into the right hand, take a big inhale, and now send your left arm towards the sky. Exhale and bring your left palm back into the mat. Our next pose is called crocodile or Makarasana. But as a matter of fact, I think this pose should be renamed. It should be called Kankunasana. So we're coming all the way down into our belly. And from here, we place our elbows into the mat. Lift our chest up. And with the heel of our hands, just rest our face or our head into that. We kind of look like when we're on the beach, just reading a good book. And this is a heart opening because sometimes we're afraid that we're going to be hurt, and we tend to round our back to protect our heart. So in this pose, our arms are actually protecting our heart, which allows us to open and shine our heart forward without the fear of getting hurt. So we're going to stay here for a couple of minutes. If this doesn't feel good, remember you have the option to walk your elbows a little bit farther until you feel a comfortable stretch in your lower back. Take a big inhale through the nose. Side out, exhale. And release anything else that may be blocking your heart. That's one of the things when we're protecting our heart, we're also blocking it from other feelings like joy, love, compassion. That's why it's important to let our guard down, to be able to receive the unconditional love that the universe has for us. So we have a couple more seconds in this pose. So take a big inhale and exhale it outside out. Release anything else that might be blocking your heart from receiving the love and forgiveness that you need. So to exit this pose, start walking your elbows out to the sides until you are able to rest your forehead on your hands. So now, bend your knees and let's windshield wipe the legs from side to side to reset the spine. Perfect. So now lower your knees back into the mat and let's press into a tabletop position. Sit your hips to one side. As we move into Khalasar or butterfly pose. So bring the soles of your feet together. If you have any props, just bring them closer to you. And for this pose, you could either grab your feet, or you can actually have your feet a little bit farther from your seat. Wherever it's available to you, it's totally okay. So take a big inhale and lift your chest up, and on the exhale, bow forward. You can either use your elbows to open your legs a little bit wider. And remember, since we're going to be holding the pose for a little bit longer, you can use your blocks to support the head. Find your edge on the pose. The edge is that place where you still feel challenged, but you're not experiencing any pain. If you begin to experience any pain, just come out of the pose a little bit. Take a big inhale, inside out, exhale. And surrender into this pose. Let gravity do most of the work. Let the earth support you. We talked before how our hips is the place where we store most of our fears and vulnerabilities. Don't be surprised if some of those feelings start bubbling up to the surface. But instead of rejecting them, embrace them. Be curious. Instead, using your breath to keep you present and to inquire. Why is this feeling bubbling up? What's my body trying to tell you? You come out of the pose, step, walking your hands backward. Just move your props to the side. We're coming into a reverse tabletop position or Padma. So bend the knees and place the soles of your feet on the mat. Your hands are behind your seat and your fingers are pointing towards the front of the mat. Pressing through the hands and into the feet. Take a big inhale, engage your abs, and on the exhale, lift your hips off the sky. We're only going to stay here for a couple of rounds of breath. So take a big inhale, inside out, exhale, and open your heart to possibility. Sometimes in yoga, like in life, we tend to hold our breath in difficult situations or poses. So remember to continue breathing to keep you present and help you through the discomfort. Take one more big inhale. And as you sigh it out, lower your hips all the way down, very gently. Now we're moving into wide angle seated forward fold. So open your legs out, in a deep position as wide as it's comfortable for you. You can bring your props again closer to you to help you support your head and neck. Take a big inhale and lift your arms overhead. And on the exhale, bow forward. And embrace yourself as you truly are. You can have a soft bend on the knees. Remember to flex your feet. And if it's available to you with each exhalation, fold forward a little bit deeper. Take a big inhale through the nose. Sigh out, exhale. And release any past hurts or feelings of resentment. While you're in this pose, notice if by any chance you're holding tension in another part of your body. Are you tightening your fist? Do you have any tension in your shoulders? You might be scrunching your face or scrunching your jaw. And if you are, without judgment, start using your breath to soften any tension that may be arising while you're in this very intense pose. Take a big inhale and open mouth, release. With the help of your hands, they're coming out of the pose by walking your hands closer to your body. And our next pose is a supported fish pose. So we're going to use some of the props. If you have a thick book or a block, just place them in a vertical position to support your head. And then the other block, just place them flat on your mat to support your back. If you have a blanket or a pillow, just place it on top of the blocks to support, just to make it more padding or cushioning, I guess. And so, for this particular position, I find that if I'm closer to the block that it's horizontally, it's a little bit more comfortable. So very slowly, start folding. You start laying down on your back. And notice how it feels. One of the main reasons we hold the poses for a long time is so you take the time to see what your body is trying to tell you. If you're not comfortable, just come out of the pose and adjust it until you feel it's actually giving you the support you need, that it's comfortable for you. Another option, if you have any extra pillows, you can bring the soles of your feet together and open your knees wide for a Supta Baddha Konasana or reclined butterfly pose. Once you're comfortable, soften your jaw and feel free to close your eyes. Arms are by your side. And just open your heart. As you open your heart out, you start to receive unconditional love, compassion, forgiveness, and everything else that you will need. To build this beautiful and trusting relationship with yourself. For our final resting pose of the practice, feel free to stay in this pose for Shavasana if you're comfortable. But if you prefer to take Shavasana on your back, the way to exit this pose is to bend the knees, press into one of your elbows, and roll to one side. And you can place your props on the side. Extend your legs wide as your mat. Arms are by your sides. Your palms are facing up. That's the way that you're ready to receive the benefits of your practice. Soften your jaw. Let go of your Ujjayi breath. And come back into your normal breathing. And with each exhalation, surrender into this pose. And take this as an opportunity to heal and to receive the unconditional love, compassion, and forgiveness that the universe has for us. And I will awaken us when it's time. Start bringing awareness into your body. Start moving your fingers and toes. Very gently circle your wrists and ankles. Inhale your arms out long for a full body stretch, like if you're waking up for the first time today. Bend your knees and to come out of the pose again, press into your right elbow and very gently roll into your right side. You can rest your head on your blanket or on a block. And while we're in this pose, which also symbolizes rebirth from the old to the new, I invite you to take a moment of gratitude to your body for everything that your body was able to do and will be able to do today. to yourself for making the time to come into this practice. To your fellow practitioners for the energy they share. For this community. For life. With eyes closed and with the help of your hands, come into a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands into Lotus Mudra and place them on the third eye chakra in between your eyebrows. May we have peace in our thoughts. Now bring your mudra and place it on top of your lips. May we have kindness in our words. And finally, bring your mudra to the heart center. May we have compassion in our hearts. Thank you for allowing me to guide your practice today. Bowing forward from my heart to yours. Namaste.